Well, it's a pleasure and thank you for joining us on this Coffee Court where we daily discuss critical matters. Of course, as Kampala heads towards the festive season, business begins to slow down. Not forgetting the presidential directive on issues of commercial markets. This time round, we digest its impact on the business community. And joining me to discuss this is the Kampala City Division Mayor, Mr. Salim Uhuru Nsubuga. Mr. Salim, thank you for joining us.
You're most welcome. I'm happy to be again on Smart 24. It's a pleasure always interacting with you guys.
Okay.
And it's my mandate as the mayor to furnish you with information regarding our communities in the ground.
Somebody told me to ask whether the name Nsubuga still holds. Does it still hold?
You thought it was for politics? No, that's my real name, Salim Uhuru Nsubuga. Where to get? You want to be like someone called Hamdan? He took me to court because using the name Nsubuga, but I am called Nsubuga. Ze musajja wa Kabaka, ze ntwala amakula ga Kabaka in Kampala Central.
Okay. So Salim Nsubuga
Uhuru Nsubuga
still holds. Let's talk about now the current directive of the president on issues of the commercial markets. What's your take on it?
Well, first and foremost, I want to thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, coming out with a directive that is going to finish all the bickering in the markets. I want to thank the Prime Minister. Really, I'm proud of her. Very much proud of her. I want to thank the Minister of Kampala. I'm also proud of her because she's an origin of Kampala Central. The issue of markets, my brother Fred, it has been a bonanza, business bonanza for people. It has been swindling money from the communities. That's why you see the president came out with clear guidelines. Actually, I have the guidelines here from State House, press release. Clear guidelines that I am sure will bring harmony and sanity.
Just to be sure, take us through the guidelines, just to be sure.
This is from State House, and it says Thursday, November 17th, 2020. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni meets officials on KCCA markets. Good enough, I happen to be in that market. I mean in the meeting at State House. Issues and guidelines on governance of markets. Let me read them for you now. Number one, let's begin with here. I don't want to go into the long story. Number one, KCCA should take over the administration of all government markets in the city. Not one in particular, but all of them. Okay. That the governance, that is the administration, the collection of money, the management, the utilities, all that is going to be paid by KCCA.
Okay.
No vendor shall or should occupy more than one store. You know, Bana Fred, you will see someone, example, Salim Uhuru, owning 20 slots of shops in Owino market, or in Nakasero market, or in Wandegea market. So all that has been stopped. I will only own one. No politician, by the way. It is the vendor.
In the whole of Kampala?
The vendor, Omuntu wa wansi, is the beneficiary for this. Because when we were in town, when I moved in town, the Batembei, the vendors, you know what they used to tell me? Mutugobi muchivuga, temutuagala, temutufudeko. So this is what we told the president.
Okay.
3, the meeting should agree on who is responsible for utilities. Because now, if I have a machine, a kuba binyewo, I should pay my bill.
Okay.
If I have an ice cream machine in the market, or sealing machines, there are people who have commercial machines, pay your bill.
As an individual.
You get your meter, you pay your bill. Then there's the sheds of KCCA. Those who are in shelters. KCCA is going to pay that bill because they're under KCCA. There should be a reasonable amount of imposer being collected. Amount of fee for items coming to the market. Okay. So they're going to choose a reasonable fee, and cabinet is going to come out with that resolution of how much money is to be collected from the vendors at the markets. The meeting should agree on the figures. Upon discussion of the following were agreed upon. Vendors should stop paying. Vendors will be paying KCCA, and it will be responsible for monthly or annual stalls stroke lockups occupancy. B, they should be impose a limited figure of amount of money. Utilities will decide on consumption. National Water will add on more service stand pipes. Okay. They have the prepaid meters, so they're going to add more in the in the toilet facilities. KCCA will take over responsibility of garbage collection. On the distribution of workspaces, the existing vendors in the government markets will be given priority, first priority, to take place. To take the stalls. On Kiseka market, can we talk about Kiseka market?
That's okay, because we are talking about commercial issue.
You very well know the last time you were here in the interview, we were looking for spaces, workspaces for our people. So I thought that virgin land that is there would be the best for the SMB during the Christmas season. So we were guided, wise decision by the president. He says, no, Uhuru, we don't need Katogo down here. We don't want to put mechanics, abafumba, selling clothes, abatembe here. It will be a Katogo, which we don't need. Okay. Let that Kiseka remain for the mechanics, the spares, and those who are fixing cars.
But even where you put them at Kalere, the place is not functioning.
That is not ours. That's not our place. They are renting. So I got an option of Nachivubo settlement, which the president agreed on temporary terms, is to put the Batembe next week. Actually, we're going to put them there because they requested for where they had requested for the streets for the Christmas season. So we told them, no, we're not accepting any more streets vending. Let us get an alternative space for you. So the alternative space is Nachivubo settlement. They are going to be there for strictly 2 months, because the president asked me, now Uhuru, where do you want them to go? I said, no, Your Excellency, they will be on holiday by that time.
But that's a temporary decision.
Exactly.
Are you operating on temporary decision?
Exactly. We're on temporary decision. That is December, Christmas season, and back to school decision, period.
So after that period, where do you put them?
After that, they have directed the Minister of Kampala and the ED to look for alternative land to be bought for the vendors.
Maybe back to the issues of commercial markets. Did you consult the prevailing leaders before such a decision is taken?
This is a presidential directive, and I am the mayor. I furnish the president with challenges affecting our community because that's my job. Other than being the mayor, I am the district chairperson of Kampala, NRM. This is my NRM government. I must guide or inform the president any challenges affecting the community, and that is where we are. I don't consult any more than that, but they are stakeholders, because when we are going to relocate, we must call the leadership. We have leadership of the Tembe, we have already engaged them. We have leadership at Kiseka, we have already engaged them, but it is my duty to see we are on the same pace.
So why the crisis? If you are saying the different stakeholders have been engaged, you've seen the crisis, you've seen it in Wandegea, you've seen it here in the heart of your constituency.
Let me tell you, my brother, the problem with the interim committee, I want to first recommend them and thank them for the well done job. Some of them have done the job at their best. Some have been indisciplined. They are the ones coming on TV abusing people. They are the ones who do not have respect for the ministers. They have no respect for the prime minister. They thought by the president putting them there, that is the end of it. No, president does not work alone. And he will never work alone. I want to appreciate, let them borrow a leaf from the president by being tolerant. You abuse the president, he tolerates you and calls you. So some have been totally rude, do not need to be even leaders of those markets. That's why you see actually this overhaul has come. Because if you really have respect for people, why should they fight you? But the moment you become unruly and you say the president, everything the president, what good enough the president is, and who put you there is the president who has removed you.
Mr. Salim, the president issued the same directive in 2018. If it did work, we would see positive results. And we see now, still on all commercial areas being regulated by KCCA.
Good enough. It is now KCCA, the mother land title holder. KCCA is going to be managing, KCCA is going to be collecting the revenue, KCCA is going to be making each and every, that's the duty and mandate of KCCA actually.
So it is now in the hands of KCCA.
In government. In government.
So you've had allegations of people saying, even the officials from within, that hold more than one stock.
True.
So these are the same people now who are in charge of the place.
Good enough. It is true. Some have been technocrats of KCCA. Very true. That I will not say no. But me as a politician, I have a limit. Now, I have my full powers to go and verify, because that's my job. I'm the supervisor. I will go and verify. This is for Fred, yes. This is for Uhuru, yes. This is for who and who, yes. But nobody, there's no more issue of landlord. I can promise you, my brother. That's why I want to thank the Prime Minister. She went to Eyewitness, personally on ground. Chiche Chiriyo, what is there on ground? And came out with recommendations that are being implemented. No shortcut on that.
So you only...
I was with the ED yesterday in the handing over ceremony of the chairpersons. I told her the same thing. The technocrats are not angels, they're trouble causers. But good enough, I am there because I'm going to be answerable. The president is going to call me and ask me, what did you do? You want me to begin kunagi in front of the president? I will give him genuine answers for the best of our people, our citizens of Uganda, our people of Mutua Wansi, and my NRM government at large.
You've had people say these are commercial areas, these are commercial issues, but some say we have put politics into these commercial issues. That's the reason we are what we are now.
Partly I will say yes, and partly I will say no. My brother, politics is everywhere, even in your home.
There's leadership in my home.
That is already politics. Even me in my home. Because I remember I was not supposed to stand as a mayor Kampala Central Division. I can assure you. I said I'm going to come. My wife said, "You told Jaku Bera mayor. You will not accept you." She ended up supporting me fully to win the seat of what? Mayorship. That shows you everything in Kampala must. You cannot. You see when that one selling Lumonde on the road. You put people power and begin saying people power, our power. It cannot happen. Other than the privilege NRM brought, the privilege of people choosing their choice of leadership or choice of party. But this is now an NRM government.
Your worship, commercial areas which are not governed by, you only govern 16 markets. Yes. The others which are not being catered for by KCCA are in peace, and those that government are now in charge are the ones that could be having issues. I think the bigger problem, the problem could be bigger than this.
No, that's not true. Actually, the biggest problem was the money collection. That's the biggest problem, money collection. People would use that money, then terrorize people. People would use money. I had someone commenting that politicians were asking money. Please bring them out. Ashame them. Come and say, Salim Uhuru asked me for 10 million. Ashame him. Don't keep quiet. But if you come up saying that politicians are asking for money, who are they? You come out, ashame them, because I do not really see what a politician is doing in a market. A politician is supposed to be governing, trying to see our communities are comfortable where they are. They have all the service they need from government, but not to go and squeeze them and get money from them. No, I don't think that is very nice for a politician. So we use our markets, we use our borders where we need politics, we engage them. because they are our supporters.
I've not heard you talk about the bigger problems like prices of water in these areas, issues of prices of electricity. You seem to be only concentrating on a few and leaving out the other bigger picture.
I was on somewhere live also on smart TV somewhere. I talked about the issue, there was load shedding. And then I talked about the thieves in KCC and Umeme, because our communities have started stealing power because of the high rates. If those services could be extremely cheap, water and electricity, I don't think you'd be seeing more deaths in our slums, because the landlords look for shortcuts, the tenants look for shortcuts. That is, they go by stealing now the masanyazi and water. But the prepaid meters is 25 shillings. That's for the community. My brother, no one is going to steal water there now. You will pay 25 or 50 shillings to get water. Same thing with the Umeme. I'm requesting them, all the dams we're building, all the infrastructure we have, at least the price should come down. Yes.
So where does this directly leave us when it comes to operandization of markets?
Well, as government takes charge of the markets, it's its mandate, and I pray it performs well. It doesn't be like the previous leaders who have been getting stalls for themselves, who have been executing money from the wananchi. We want to see a happy vendor who really deserves to get such services from the government.
Okay. And maybe as we draw towards the festive season, these are Christmas seasons, I don't know if you're aware that your buildings are becoming empty. People are vacating from Kampala.
True.
And heading to places like Kampala Metropolitan.
True.
Does this have anything to worry you as a mayor?
No, I want to thank you for seeing that, because I'm a businessman also.
I'm a business TV channel. I should be able to know this.
Being a businessman, I can assure you the rates of rent in commercial buildings is alarming. People are looking for shortcuts how to save money. You are crying the rent, you are crying URA, you are crying income tax, you are crying KCCA license, so it's a bit expensive. They looked for other options, looking for cheaper places, and some now are using their cars as business shops. They come, they pay multiplex parking, they have their phone, they stand on, their phone is business now. Oya Galachi, it is in this car. So that's a way to cut costs, because the standard of living in town, it's a bit expensive, my brother. Do not see me in this office and think I'm comfortable. I know what the communities are saying down there. Things are expensive, the essential commodities are expensive, so we need to look into that.
And do we have any solutions for this? Because once these people are affected from Kampala, you know what it means, especially to issues of earnings.
No, you know, also our landlords, this is more or less a dose they're seeing, because they used to mistreat the tenants totally. When you don't pay in time, they charge you 50,000, 100,000 fine. For what? I have failed to pay in time, then you give me another cost. They come and lock your shops. It's no longer there. None of these landlords are locking people now, because they've known the repercussions. They will lose, because if a floor, 2 floors are empty, you're in problems. You have got a loan, you have to service that loan. Where will you service it from? From those tenants. If the tenants are not there, then you're in problems.
Your final remark, Your Worship, Mayor Nsubuga Salim.
Those watching us on Smart 24, we're going to this festive season. I know everyone is going to be looking for money. We must be extra careful right from home. Those traveling up country, we must be cautious. We have to drive safely. Security, I can guarantee security will be at its best. We'll make sure all Ugandans are safe. And just trust us, we shall do what we can do.
Thank you, Your Worship, for sparing time and definitely being part of some of these critical issues of the President directing that all commercial markets should be handed over back to KCCA. Our roles and responsibility is definitely to do a follow-up. This is the Coffee Court, and my name is Fred Makubuya.